Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk. Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Good friends and trends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with super fast Tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow. Good vibes from head to toe. Let the happiness take you in.
Way! Hey, you're there. Welcome to the show. Thank you for showing up and giving us a like on the video today. Thank you for being awesome and being amazing. And today we got a different show going on, different type of non-magic related show, but it could be magic related. But with us, we got KJ Cowboy Dan, MTG Hillbilly, TCG Dude, give me a sleeve, and
Lone Wolf.
That's right, Lone Wolf.
I love how that's become a thing.
That's right. That's right. We love it. I love it. Give support to the Lone Wolf. The guy who got like the front seat access to the show, you know?
He doesn't have front seat access. What he has is balcony seating.
Right?
You know,
Right.
Lone Wolf is the only person who gets a balcony seat to the shows. Like we were talking earlier before this, before the show about last night's show with Jesse and me, and we were just telling him that Jesse wanted to know, and then if he's dedicating himself to more episodes of procrastinating to hang out with Jesse and I, and I was just mentioning that, you know, he's got the best seat in the house. I mean, Chat gets to sit there in that little box with all the letters, but Lone Wolf gets a balcony.
Nice.
You know, like those fancy theaters.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Those fancy theaters are there for you. You know, and look, he does speak up when he has a thought, an opinion. And it's interesting because I think he'll probably have a good thought and opinion about today's episode, especially coming from a viewer standpoint. It'd be interesting to find out.
Oh, yeah.
But how you guys doing this morning, this fine morning?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Doing good.
Yeah, chilling out. How about you, KJ?
Oh, I'm all right. I didn't sleep well last night, but that's all right. You know, there's always tomorrow night.
Sleep is overrated.
You know, they say that 8 hours of the day is wasted on sleep.
That's right. And trust me, I like to use up all those 8 hours.
You know, TCG doesn't have to worry about it. He has a kid. He doesn't have to sleep anymore.
Oh, that's true.
That's right.
He's got an excuse to stay up all night.
Yeah, I fuel myself with caffeine, baby cries, and cardboard.
Nice. And how are you doing down there, Lone Wolf?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I'm exhausted, but I'm doing good.
Exhausted. Running a marathon today? Did you go out in the wild last night and run with the wolves and catch some prey?
Yep, you got to howl at the moon every once in a while to keep up your reputation.
That's right. That makes sense. It perfectly makes sense. Whew. Well, we got someone in chat. We got Ryan. Whoa. So someone once pointed out that eventually there will be a critical mass of great cards of any kind of strategy. So a lot of the lesser cards will fall off. The power creep will reach a breaking point. That's true. Those are words that we will listen to. Whoa. So today's episode is actually about learning the YouTube algorithm. Well, if you want to think of algorithm, it's today's learning more about YouTube. I did some research last night and found a couple videos to watch, and I don't know why they popped out to me, but I'm like, I want to learn this. What's being said? What's going on? What's the new stuff? And we got Sonic Juice Scoob. Hello.
So,
up, fellers?
So I got this big monologue that I'm going to read, and the rest of the show will be kind of breaking it down and talking about it, stretching it out, and getting into the deep. And thinking of monologues, we got enough people I can post chat on screen. Nice.
Noise.
All right. See, let's go to here. All right. YouTube is the main focus of today's episode, but some of this works on different platforms and some different platforms and stuff like that. But YouTube is the main focus here. YouTube is a growing platform that wants you to make money and grow within its own restraints, its own restrictions. They want you to be creative and grow and make a profit. But there are things we must understand when it comes down to YouTube. YouTube is a viewer-based platform. YouTube cares about the viewers because that's what makes the money. You know, selling the ads, pushing the ads, all that fun jazz. And for the creator, it's about making that money. So you want to get those viewers in. It wants you to make content for your viewers, and not just any content, but good content that's rewatchable. Don't think of the algorithm at all when I'm talking about this. Replace the word algorithm with viewers. Of your viewers, the more you aim to please and entertain your viewership, the more of the algorithm or the viewers favors you. So the more people that click on your videos, watch your videos, like your videos, pushes it into the world of YouTube. So when people watch something similar, your video gets recommended, or sometimes gets recommended because the viewership has grown so much on your video, it pushes it in front of people. And I'm going to say this, not to be negative, but there's no guarantee someone's going to click on your video. It's just the more people that watch your video, the more it pushes your video into the other people's faces.
right.
All right. The thumbnail of your video is not as important as the context of your video. It's not as important as your video, but it is important because it's the selling bit that grabs. And you only got like a second or 2 seconds for people to see your thumbnail, because if you notice lately, when you scroll over a thumbnail, a video automatically starts playing to grab your interest, you know. So the thumbnail is just a quick poster to advertise your video, and you want to be good at your thumbnails in this. You want to be good in your thumbnails, but your thumbnails does like half the work nowadays since your video automatically starts playing.
Right.
So just keep that in mind. Your content's what's selling nowadays. Whew.
Well, it should be about the content anyway. There is the hook, so to speak, in your thumbnail, the little preview that you get that looks like kind of like they made a little GIF of your top scenes from or whatever from your most chatted scenes from that episode. However they do it, I think it's based off of the viewer interaction, based off of what I've been able to see from my videos. When I scroll over one of my videos, those are usually areas where people chatted the most. Or and so it kind of makes like a little quick little GIF of that. Sometimes it'll like actually play part of the video as well. And those are just the hooks. One's the bait and the other's the hook. And if you look at it in a fishing scenario.
Oh yeah, creating your videos and mastering your video creation is a step. You want to get better at making your videos and content for sure. And what you're saying, because that hook, that opening liner, or how everything works in your video is got to grab the attention really quick, and you got to keep that attention.
Yep.
But now the second thing I want to talk about is the context of your video must define a YouTube, Google, Bing search term, right? The titling of your videos, don't think of titles that would be something you made up, but think of something someone would search on Google for when you're creating a video. Like even if it's about AI music, like what's a great AI music? What's great AI? What's a great AI title for your show? What's something someone would kind of search for? What in the realms would someone search for if it's about AI? Like Magic the Gathering. Make a good context title that would be searchable on YouTube. Now, when you're making your videos, be aware of the competition out there, because like if you're a Magic the Gathering, there's millions of Magic the Gathering content creators out there. You're really going to skiff upon someone else's video title or someone else's topic, and you're going to share that space with them. You know,
It's going to be very common, especially with the larger the community. Now, Magic the Gathering is like a really large community, and the TCG community is like you quadruple, even depending on how many TCGs that are out there that people are doing TCG shows about. You're going to be hitting the same topics, and you're going to be we're talking about a ban list today. Well, most likely everybody's going to be talking about the ban list at that point in time, whenever they ban a new card. How many people were complaining about the Soul Ring situation when that happened? Every Magic the Gathering creator had a video or live stream the very moment that they banned it. These are thought processes that it's like, okay, you are sharing it. So how do you make that that searchable term attractive enough for not only are you in that same search, but you are the one that you're going to click on based off of title? And do you resort to clickbaiting? Do you resort to humorous puns in your title? How do you do it?
So one thing I've learned is clickbait is okay as long as it's telling the truth. Right? Right. Like, like how many times have you seen a thumbnail and the thumbnail was about the video and the clickbait was someone like holding their hands against their head with that big open mouth going, like I got exciting, scary news or something like that. And people click on it. Or when you're like pointing at something in the thumbnail, you're like, there's a way to clickbait and not lie. Clickbaiting is usually a terminology with lying, like I'm making it look like one thing, but it's really another thing, and people have done that before. But like if you learn how to clickbait with telling the truth, being like, oh, this, that, mouth gaped open, whatever, you got to make your thumbnail attractive to people, and your title just as attractive. And look, for example, the title of this video is kind of clickbaity. It's called Reality Check, a talk about YouTube, right? But it doesn't mean people are going to click on it, but it might. Who knows?
Right. I've had several debates amongst a few of my Twitch friends, because on Twitch you really don't have to worry about so much with the titles as you do on YouTube. And when it comes down to most of my titles, especially with my gaming streams, I'm not going into catchy titles. But when I'm doing the podcast with Jesse, or something that's like just like something I'm planning on doing just slightly that's not what's in my norm, then I throw in a little hook to my titles.
Oh yeah. Sometimes a good hook is a good way to get people's attention. Like one of the hooks I do in my titles just for fun is add emojis to my titles now. And it seems to get a good click rate in general. Like people look at the emojis, they read the title, they click on it and check out the video, see what it's about. So find ways to be creative with it. make your title searchable. Like there are different platforms that use a searchability, like TikTok, for example. Like how many times have I looked up a product on Google and it brought up a TikTok video? It'll be like, here's a video of your search result. How many times have I searched a certain thing about magic or Jurassic Park and a YouTube video popped up in my search term, you know? And like when I check my analytics, I know it's more than just Google. People find my channel through Bing.
Oh yeah, I get that all the time, even on my Twitch side. I look at my here. I'm gonna go to my analytics right now on Twitch just to point it out. So who the heck are these 14% of my viewership? Who is the 14% of my viewership who's using Bing still? I didn't even know people still used Bing.
Right.
You know, I mean, what do we got? Netscape Navigator on our computer too?
Netscape Navigator.
Some AOL. You got mail.
It's early 2000s, everybody. You still receiving those discs for free trials?
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, I'm glad that Bing is putting my content out there, you know, but it's like, who are the 14% that are still using Bing?
Right. All right. Well, while you do that, the next part of this monologue is the context of your video must be search titling. I'm trying to catch up my spot.
Sorry, didn't mean to distract you on my Bing rant.
That's right. Anyways, imagine you're curious to look up something on your search engine. Results bring up videos, YouTube, TikTok, and other platforms. And and this is the kind of same idea. You want to be searchable. So when you make a video, you want to make something searchable, something curious about, because it pushes it in the viewership of people. Like people who are looking for that thing will find it. You want to be searchable in places other than just YouTube. YouTube used to be the second biggest search engine on the internet. You know that? With the surge of how-to videos they used to have and whatnot. And there's still a lot of how-to videos, but people used to look up how-to videos. And people still look up how-to videos on how to fix things on YouTube. So that's why it's searchable. Like you want it to be searchable like that, because you want to find a way to search, make your video searchable, because YouTube is not only an entertainment platform, but it's also an educational platform that people use daily. It is not just entertainment, it's a tool.
Yep.
You know? And
Heck, there's been times that I've had to search stuff up on YouTube.
oh yeah.
We got to set something up.
Oh yeah, I've done that with OBS a lot.
Yeah, I have too.
Hence your SEO score. Anybody doesn't know what an SEO score? It's your search engine optimization. That works with your titles, your thumbnail, and your hashtags, right? YouTube's used to let you spam the hashtags, but they want you to stop spamming the hashtags. They want you to use as few as possible now. But hashtags are there to define the search.
Right. YouTube has a special spot when you go into your creator dashboard and you set up your about section for that video. In that area, it has a specific place it wants you to put the hashtags. I even saw a video recently that says people are still putting their hashtags in the description. They shouldn't do that. They need to go down to keep on scrolling down, and when you upload your video or set it to go live, and that video about section actually has a spot for your hashtags, which you just type it in and it'll put it right there, and you're not supposed to put it in a certain spot anymore. They want you to make sure that the hashtags are in the hashtag area.
Right. Well,
the searchable references or something with it, whatever they call it.
Well, what they want you to do is they want you to start putting your hashtags on top of your description, not the bottom, which I don't understand, because when I put them on the bottom, they still go up top. So whatever they do, they just want you to like my SEO hashtags are spamming. There's a lot of them, and I need to cut it down. But they want you to be more succinct with your hashtags, and succinct means short, simple, to the point. They want you to define your topic more clearly. So when someone's searching for your video through Google or your video through YouTube, that it'll pull up certain terms. That's right. That's what that's about. That's why hashtags are important that way. You know, you can grow on YouTube without using hashtags and stuff like that, but using those hashtags correctly can give you a boost.
Also reuse the same hashtags. Don't like change your hashtags up. Like when I do my hashtags, particularly for my gaming streams, like I use hashtag witness for because it's a quote from the Mad Max series, for example. I always use hashtag witness. I also when I'm for example on Twitter, and because you can't really tag yourself in it, I do hashtag Cowboy Dan or hashtag KJ Cowboy Dan. And I have for if anybody wants to do fan art of Jesse and myself or any of the gang that we hang out here on the morning show, if you go to my Twitter, if you go to Twitter and you want to post something, and I also put it in my hashtags on YouTube when I remember, hashtag procrasta-art. And you can, anybody in the circle that I stream with, you can make fan art for and post it to a social media network. And the nice thing about the hashtags is you can go to Google and search the hashtags themselves, and you can find not only just on the network that you're posting those hashtags on, but on other networks. It helps spread the search. When people, because some people don't just search for the terms. I mean, if you're lost, you're going to be like, how do I do this in Google? But some people will go, well, I know this creator uses this hashtag. So let's see if he's putting out any of this content that he uses with this hashtag. And it just makes it a lot easier when you're going hashtag SFT in certain areas.
Which I just found out is a hashtag on the internet for super fine tuning in machine learning.
Oh,
well, you know, one thing I know about YouTube is that YouTube can has a place on there where you can save your hashtags. So your hashtags are being reused with every stream.
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially if you're one of those people who like me, for a lot of these streams I do, like everything's set up to automatically have the information for procrastinating across the ocean on as an auto upload. When I upload everything, it'll have the procrastinating stuff, and it'll also have my a few of my just standard stuff in the description. It'll automatically add that to the description and don't have to worry about doing it again. You're right, Hillbilly.
That's right. That's right. And really quick, I want to say hello, Lulu, and hello, Doc Master. What's up? Thank you for joining the show. I would spend more time talking about that, but I need to get finishing on this. So, yeah. So, when you think of SEO scores, the title, the thumbnails, and the hashtags, you really want to think of the titles and thumbnails. I mean, titles and hashtags more than your thumbnail in this part. Thumbnails are there just to grab the attention of the eyeballs, right? But search terms, when it comes to search terms, your title and your hashtags try to make your search succinct, shrink it down. So, whenever you're on any searching platform, your hashtags and title of your video will work together. Then in the algorithmic viewership part, the viewership you get on your videos pushes your videos even further. All right. YouTube is no longer the casual format of videos. They want you to think like a business person and plan your strategies ahead of the curve and make long-term plans. Basically, map out your success and become goal-oriented. Like, you can be casual on YouTube, but they want you to start planning ahead and start working with the information I've given you, some of the things we're talking about. They want you to start thinking of a business. Like, you know, before you're monetized on YouTube, you can be monetized on YouTube. Right, you got Patreon, you got other things like Ko-Fi to help make money on YouTube and stuff like that. But also you can use Spring Tea to sell merchandise on your own website. You can advertise it on YouTube, but when you become fully monetized on YouTube, you can actually brand your store to YouTube. They're relying on you to be a business person nowadays on YouTube, which is kind of ridiculous, but that's what the world's coming to. Is social media is the next 9 to 5.
Yes, YouTube has evolved from the dating app website that it basically once was.
Correct. Oh man, you just took it back old school.
Yeah, to what it is now, the multi-layered, business platform or personal exploration or whatever. YouTube has evolved, bro, like a Pokemon.
Oh yeah, it has evolved clearly because YouTube, like I was watching some videos on the CEO of YouTube. Can't remember his name. Was it Neil or something like that? But anyways, the CEO of YouTube talking about YouTube and how people ask him questions like how do you get past the algorithm stuff, and he's like, dude, you gotta stop thinking of the algorithm. You gotta start thinking of the viewers. You gotta think like a business. And then parts of this will go into our speech later, but you gotta think like a business, and you gotta do this particular stuff, which is be yourself, follow the SEO scores or the SEOs, right? And going into our next segment is you got to go in depth with the audience, not try to go wide. And that's one of the people's biggest mistakes on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now I'll explain that very shortly because YouTube wants you to think like a business. It wants you to cover the viewers in depth over width. The best way to grow your channel bigger is not to try and gain more subscribers, so to say. Growing on YouTube, they want you to get into viewer depth. Viewer depth is to make content that lets the viewer to get to know you, as building a relationship with your audience, as if they are one person. When you build a viewer relationship, people will attach to you, and your brand will grow. Your brand will sell more. The more you sell your brand and going in depth with viewers, you're building a relationship, and that's what people want in relationships. Like for example, my wife watches a lot of in depth style channels where people get to know you on the YouTube. She watches people's vlogs where they clean their house or just have this life, talk about their life and everything. People love that kind of content. And there's content like that where people want to get to know you, because the more people can attach to you as a personality, the more people want to be friends with you. More than being that person, you want all the friends and you're not having a relationship with them. You just want the crowd for the numbers. You can't think in that realm.
Right.
The
word of advice I say about that is when you have a YouTube channel and you're making content and everything, always think of it as being a hobby. And never think of it as being anything else. And always keep in mind, if people come to your channel, watch you, that's great. But don't look at that as being the numbers for people, to come. Numbers shouldn't mean nothing to you. You should do it because you like to do it. And that's basically, the point of it. You know what I mean?
Especially, you're right. Especially if you're a small streamer. Now, if you my advice I always tell people, and this is a lot of people say this is bad advice. You need to watch your analytics on a daily basis. You need to sit there and depress yourself over numbers, and you gotta sit there. No. Don't post a video, wait 1 week, then look at your analytics for that video. Do not look at that analytics before the week is up, because I'm going to tell you what, if you're a small streamer, you're probably going to get 16 to 70 views on a average stream, because you're a small streamer. Now, a video post, on the other hand, because streamers usually stream for an hour or two, depending on things. The videos that you edit down and post, those are going going to get a higher movement and a faster movement. So if you're comparing your analytics to, okay, this video I did yesterday and this live stream I did 2 days before have no comparison. Why is that? I'm getting depressed. I'm not getting new followers. It's like, okay, first of all, you're a small streamer. If you're a small streamer, keywords, wait a week before you look at your analytics. It doesn't matter to you anyway. You're doing it as a hobbyist. Now, make sure you keep on following these steps, making sure you get the right hashtags in there, your right titles. Make sure that you're putting a nice little hook onto your graphics, and do the best you can. Don't stress yourself over numbers until you start to establish more of a flow on your own. Now, everybody's going to start off with no viewership. I mean, I'm just lucky that people show up to my shows, and I'm just sitting there doing it for fun, playing a game here and there, BSing with Jesse, throwing out some random talk content.
Right.
And I still get nice viewership.
Ironically, you guys are kind of like saying, hey, Tortoise, get out of the business mindset. But YouTube is a business. They want you to think of it as a business.
Yeah, it is.
Right? Starting as a hobby is one thing. You want to see if you get some grip in YouTube, right? But you got to plan it out. If you want to really grow big, you got to plan it out. And like, you can't plan out your growth, so to say, but you can plan out your journey to make goals. That's what you want to do. Even if you start, like, a lot of people nowadays are starting YouTube as a business. Like, they're not doing it just for a hobby. So what you said about starting YouTube as a hobby, right? That is only your view.
Right. Well, I'm telling people, like, what I'm trying to tell people is that when you go into something with it's a lightning strike getting viral. It's a lightning strike. You have to put in like so much time and effort that a lot of people, when they're first starting out, don't know how to do. If you don't have the knowledge and skills on how to do something, don't go into it as a business, because you're ultimately going to set yourself up for failure. If you say, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm sorry, but I'm going to be personally honest with everybody. I was not raised with the mindset that you can do anything you want to do. If you believe that you can do anything that you want to do, I personally believe you're setting yourself up for failure. And if you start off with an idea, you started off with the hobbyist mind frame before you go into a business mind frame, because if you don't have the experience, the knowledge, or the know how to do something, you are ultimately going to fail. And YouTube is pushing you must think in the business standpoint. But YouTube was also designed with the idea of, after the dating thing was over, with the idea when they redid the thing. Thank you, TCG dude, for reminding me that awesome detail of life. It was designed for hobbyists. That's what it was designed for. Sure, they're trying to redesign it now for businesses, because more people are trying to go into business. That is the trend of the streamer society. Same with Twitch. Twitch is telling you the same thing. Treat it like a business. You know, you're given right on your thing when you fill out your thing and you set up your Stripe, and you have to set up your tax information, and you have to set up that. That's in case you do make some money and you do get hit by lightning. It is a lightning strike for most people who don't have any knowledge on what they're doing. Like,
well, first of all, KJ, to interrupt you here.
Sorry.
Right, to interrupt you. People are starting YouTube as a business. A lot of people will fail, but people don't just stop at one failure.
No, they don't. I'm not saying they do.
I'm not saying they do. Right, but you make it like you're making it sound like people will fail, and that's the end of it. And like,
I'm pointing out the realism. The realism
there is realism that people will fail.
Yeah.
But you know, that's just a reminder that, you know, like, even this channel's failed so many times, and what did I do? I got up and tried again. You know, I did something, and every time I feel like the channel's not doing so great, now I'll change things up. Like, sometimes I'll rebrand, sometimes I'll change the format, you know, do something different. That's just part of entrepreneurship.
Right. It is. And everybody fails when they first start out. I'm trying to prepare everybody when I give my piece of advice as a live entertainer who is sitting here. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm sure I'm on YouTube and I Twitch stream, but I was a live entertainer first, and I don't know anything. I'm honest with everybody. I keep on saying I don't know anything about this industry. I am a hobbyist, and I'm raising hobbyists. And Project 404, now I have 3 cases that I'm working on that I deal with Project 404, and it's starting to pick up a little bit more traction. But the thought process is, yeah, you will have a business if you do it right. But expect
be honest
to fail 5 or 6 times before you get hit by lightning.
Let's be honest here. A lot of people go into YouTube because YouTube is more business like nowadays, right? And a lot of people go into YouTube not educated and going off base what they see.
Right. So how is that a good business? How is that a good business when you go into something not educated? That's a hobbyist mentality. That's
no. I'm
telling
I understand the hobbyist mentality, but I'm telling you what YouTube wants you to do. They want you to think entrepreneurially. And look, all the tools, and no one told me this when I started YouTube, all the tools you need are out there. But you actually have to have the want, the search, the hunger to find the tools to do what you did. It's like what you've done on your channel, KJ. I know you're not completely 100% entrepreneurialist right now, but with your desire to become a better YouTube and a good YouTuber, you've studied, you've learned OBS, you learned this VTuber stuff, you've learned the algorithm, you learned viewership, you learned certain things. You put the time and effort that most newer, younger generational people go into YouTube not knowing.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm doing that so that way I'm educating myself in that process so I can educate the smaller YouTuber that does want to go into something beyond a hobby. You know,
and that's what YouTube wants you to do.
Right. But YouTube wants you to go into it because they are a business. If you're not making money, they're not making money. Now the same thing with working at McDonald's, right? If you get a job at McDonald's, now they want you to do your job with the intention of making them money. That's what YouTube wants you to do, is they want you to make the burgers, the videos, to make them money. And you're going to get eventually after 4 years, possibly monetized if you're doing it a certain way. I know
it depends.
People
like you can't
4+ years.
The lightning strike depends on your channel, right?
Yeah.
It also depends on who you know.
Well, partly it does. I agree with that. My channel has grown because of the magic community. You guys, DJ, and a few other people. You know, when I wasn't even going out to be a YouTuber, like I keep on saying throughout the last year of being here, is I'm doing this for my own personal gratification of helping other people create a better show in live entertainment,
right?
Not a better show as a YouTube video maker,
right? But now, since you're doing the videos because you want to, is what YouTube wants you to do as well. Because if you make a video because you love making that video, love doing that content, that sells to the viewers who are interested in your videos.
What's up for Farce and Chops?
Farce and Chops, what's up?
But I agree with you to that point. You know, when you're trying to create a business, absolutely think business minded, but don't go into it assuming you're going to make money. That is the worst thing that you can possibly do with any venture, is assume you're absolutely going to make money. And I'm going to tell you, if you go in with that mentality, you will fail 5 or 6 times before you get hit by that lightning. I'm going to say it over and over again.
Let's
any industry.
Let's change the word fail in this one. In this direct thing. If you go into YouTube expecting you're going to start making some money, like good money, you're going to be solely disappointed at first.
Why will you be solely disappointed? Because you failed.
Well, yeah, but
failure is not a shameful thing.
It's easier to get over disappointment than hear the word fail, because some people hear the word fail and they just put that to their end all be all.
Correct.
Well, then they should, if they have that mental mindset.
No,
I'm sorry if you feel like you failed once and you have to walk away from something and that's your mental mindset, you didn't do it right. I can't believe in the other option because I was not raised to believe that way. I was raised to believe
that's fine
that,
if you want.
yeah, I'm just telling you the way I was raised, and so the way I see things, and I'm telling the people who come to me for a little bit of help and say, hey, you want to do this, and okay, I want to make money. How many times have I heard, or let alone anybody's heard, well, I'm doing this so I can go viral and I can make money? Well, do you have the talent? Do you have the skill? Do you have the education? Do you have the knowledge? Do you have the time to place into it? If you don't have any of those, at least 3 of those things I listed in that 5-piece list, then you will fail multiple times until you succeed. And the people who continue to fail until they succeed, those are the people who are going to make money. The people who have the mental mindset of giving up right after they fail for the first time. And once again, my opinion, based off of my upbringing, is that you deserve the failure. And if you don't try it again, you didn't do it. And you didn't do what you set out to do. Start off with, if you start off not reaching for the stars, you're never going to touch the stars. If you start off reaching for something that's tangible, you can touch what is tangible.
Well, yeah, but you gotta like, that's why you want to map out your goals and plans, and you want to make them realistic.
Right. But those people who map out their goals and plans are going to go and get educated. They're going to go and get the knowledge, the experience, and so forth. They're going to do it and keep doing it with every single failure. This failure is not a bad word. It's a good word. All right. Failure is a good
not
word.
The end all be all that some people's mindsets.
That's why I say I refuse to change the word failure, because failure is a good word. You have to fail 5 or 6 times. You have to fall off the bike, rub your dirt out of your knee scrape, and then get back on the bike. If you don't get back on the bike after rubbing the dirt off your knees, you have deserved that failure and you should walk away. Absolutely. And I will preach that to my dying day.
All right.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm
I
trying to be honest. This is honesty. This is not being mean. This is not contradicting what YouTube wants. YouTube is McDonald's. They want you to keep making the hamburgers. They are Dunkin' Donuts. You got to make the donuts. They need to make money. There's no use for YouTube. Doesn't want you to be there if you're not making them money. That would be stupid. But they're going to let you be there because it's a user-based platform, not a business-based platform. Until they say, if you don't make money, you can't be here, then it's always going to be a user-based platform and not a business-based platform.
Right. Well, it's both user and business. Like, they want people to succeed, to make money, obviously, but they're not going to reject you for not making money.
No, they're not.
Yeah. So that's a good thing. But let me push on the conversation really quick, because we need to get to this part, because we're almost done, and we're almost done with the whole show, which is crazy.
No, this needs to be a 2-hour episode. I love this episode. I love this episode. This needs to be a 2-hour episode.
I wish I could stay on for 2 hours. People will attach to you and your brand if you build an in-depth relationship with your viewership. Branding is one thing you want to learn, right? Because there's a lot of learning involved in branding, which is kind of ironic, because that's going to teach you about what works and don't work. And branding is the thing that's where you're going to scrape your knees a lot, especially if you have no idea what you're doing, right? But building an in-depth relationship with your viewers gets in your branding. Branding is is basically your identity. It is what you're selling. It's what you're building. This is where a lot of the trial and error that KJ was talking about comes in, because when you start branding yourself on YouTube, like when you make your logo, when you make your title of your show, your channel name, everything is branding. And this is where you're gonna fail, skip, and succeed, right? You either fail at it, you will do better next time, because you can make more than one video. Because if you make one video and it doesn't do well, it doesn't mean you can't make another video. Branding takes a lot of education, and trust me, it takes more education than just making a logo.
Yep.
You know, building a relationship with your audience is building a brand. Branding is selling your image. Image is everything you do vocally, silently, visually, and audibly. So those are the things to keep in mind there. Make the content you want. Make sure you put yourself into it. Make sure it's 100% uniquely what you love to do or want to do. Because look, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. Not everybody is a social media person. Some people just don't have the stuff to be social media. Some people like me, who started out as a kind of weird, slow, but had to want to be a social media person, like on YouTube, you know, went through the training to become it and be better at it. Then there are people who are just actually naturally good at it. Like KJ has more experience with the social media aspect than I do when it comes to talking to people on YouTube and stuff. And I say this because he's dealt with more of an audience than I have in my actual life. You know, and so there are different traits you bring into it. But for everything we don't know, we got to learn. But now,
fact right there.
All right, hold on. YouTube does reject creators by not promoting or pushing or small weak channel.
That's a fact.
That's what we're talking about too, because like the SEO scores and everything that we're talking about is to help get you past that.
Yeah. And to get past that, you know, and now I might seem argumentative about the situation, and I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm trying to, when I speak about YouTube and tell people to push forward, this is the same thing I'm going to tell any DJ who comes out to the market. We are in a field where everybody in the world, this is what I used to say back in the DJ days, everybody who has a boombox and has a cassette deck thinks they're a DJ. Now, we are in the field on the internet where everybody is a content creator now. Anything you say, even on your personal Facebook page, that is content. I thought one day, perfect idea would be to go onto Facebook and just read everybody's Facebook pages as content. But, you know, I mean, that would be content. It's how you handle your show, how you build your show, how much effort you put into it. And when I say you're going to fail, everybody's going to fail. I fail at everything I do.
Right.
And that is success.
And let me cover in that conversation about failure. In that one instance, you used failure in that instance. I wanted to change the disappointment. Failure from the other stuff was not being taken out.
I think disappointment, and I do agree to a certain degree that you are going to deal with disappointment as well. Disappointment runs hand in hand. They're brother and sister. You cannot have disappointment if you don't have some sort of failure. And just because you fail doesn't necessarily make you disappointed. That just gives you enough cause to wipe your knees off and get back up again. You know, how many times did it take you? Did you learn how to ride a bike the first time you sat on that bicycle with the balance and the two wheels? No training wheels?
No.
So obviously you wiped your knees off and you got back up and learned how to ride that bike after a while.
Yeah. When I was like, I never had training wheels when I learned how to ride a bike. So I did scrape my knees a bit.
I always heard that if you fail, you may be a content creator and try to do the content creation and all that. And you may fail at it, but you're not really a fail. You may fail at that. That don't mean you're a failure. It just means get up and try again.
Agreed.
Right. You got to get up and try again. You know, if that's what you want to do, you got to get up, learn what you did wrong, learn what to do right, or try to figure out a next step to go and go for it.
Exactly. I want to say, first off, Farhan Chops, thanks for the follow over on the Twitch side. You're awesome. Now, when it comes down to what Hillbilly was just saying, now, I don't like the word failure as in a description to oneself. I believe that's a horrible thing to think about. Now, don't think about yourself as a failure ever. If you fail, that doesn't make you a failure. That just means you're just take the L on that video. Take the L on that video and then make your next video better. You learn from your mistakes. Now,
experiencing failure and being failure aren't always the same thing.
Right.
Exactly.
And when I tell people that you're going to fail, I'm not telling you that you are a failure. I am telling you that you're not moist critical. You're not Asmongold, not yet. And if you put the proper education, the proper work, and the dedication, you will be a success.
Hey, we got DJ Longhair in the house. What's up? Hi, bros.
Wiki,
Hey.
long hair.
So yeah, I'm glad you clarified that for the viewership too. Because failing does not make you a failure. Failing is just an opportunity to get back up.
Failure is a state of mind, and only you can have your own state of mind. Now, when I say you will fail, I want people to expect that they are going to fall off that bike. And they're going to fall off that bike several times. And I don't want people to go into something and go, well, I tried it once and it didn't work. I don't know what all these people are talking about. You're competing against how many people on YouTube, in comparison? If you have your thought process as a hobbyist mentality before a business mentality, and then move the business into it, you'll have learned what you're doing. Imagine making money playing Magic the Gathering, folks.
Right. A while back ago, I watched a video about old time YouTubers, big top of the line, like Markiplier and a couple other people. And based off their analytics and based off their thumbnails and their titles, there's a strong emphasis that they wouldn't make it well today in today's YouTube as they did when YouTube was younger. Yep. So there's a lot of learning to do when you get into it. Like when I say thumbnails, trust me, there's an art on the thumbnail. Not to shill myself, but there's a video in my history that is me teaching you basic thumbnail demographics. And there's a lot of things you want to get into when it comes to imagery. Like I'm not going to break it down to the point where you're going to know every single detail. But I'm going to tell you this. When I got into YouTube, I had to learn photography. I had to learn audio. I had to learn videography. I had to learn setup. I had to learn design. I had to learn a lot of stuff. Like when you get like this show itself is simple. That's because the show itself is to be made simple by the program I use. But if I did this on OBS, and OBS would be better, but that's a different step. There's a lot of learning involved. There's a lot of dedication you got to put into it. Now imagine this. You go to school, like college, you pay for that education, right? When you go to YouTube, you're paying with your time because most people don't get a college education in YouTube. So you got to be dedicated to learn if you want to grow bigger. Like it took me probably over 5,000 hours of learning for YouTube just to get where I'm at today.
Well, it took me maybe a year or two before I got to where I'm at, because like I was like the failure part. Yeah, I failed, but I stayed at it, and now I'm not a failure.
Okay, you're not. No, you're not. You guys are success stories in your branch of the internet. You might not be like the biggest creators out there, but Hillbilly, he gets early access, and he gets early access availability for his streams. You have a successful morning show, Tortoise, that has regular viewers. It doesn't matter the number in the long run. You have regular viewers who watch your product. Those are the people who are going to promote you. Now, for those people who are hobbyists out there, I just got my OpenAI search result, and over 70, according to OpenAI, 70% of YouTube users are hobbyist streamers. That
Right.
means, according to OpenAI, over 70% of YouTube viewers are not getting paid for YouTube. Now, now think about this. If you were a company and 70% of your users are not making you money, this is the reason why YouTube is pushing the make your YouTube channel a business concept, because 70% of their usership is a hobbyist streamer not making money.
Well,
That's according to OpenAI.
right. But there's a lot of those people you're talking about are making money elsewhere on YouTube.
They're making money elsewhere on the internet as well.
Right.
How many I have a Twitch, a YouTube, a Kick. I'm trying to get everything monetized just so that way I can make 2 cents a day on ad revenue.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, unless you have a huge look at the ad revenue statistics, you're not as even a trying to make a business from scratch with the way they pay out and the percentages. You as a hobbyist user are not going to make money for, according to OpenAI, between 2 and 4 years. All right. And so like just on YouTube alone. And so between 2 and 4 years, if you have that kind of time to dedicate, then absolutely make sure you dedicate your time to it. But in the meantime, it's going to take you on an average for those 70% of YouTube streamers who aren't making money, 70%, that's a high number. That's not a low number.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just giving out the things. I can take a screenshot and send it to you guys if you need, of the OpenAI. 70% is a high number.
Whoa.
He's been glitching out for the last couple of minutes.
All right, let's take the show over. What do y'all think?
All right, welcome to the Hillbilly Show. We got your hillbilly right here. He's gruff, he tumbles, and he likes bacon.
I mean, yeah, I failed when I first started streaming, but I just kept at it, and I got into my mindset. Who cares if I'm get anywhere on YouTube? And I just thought of it as just something to do.
Yeah.
So then now I've gotten where I'm at, and I'm happy where I'm at.
Everybody in this community, I think, should be doing like Hillbilly's doing right now, by the way.
And I still got the mindset that I really don't care where the channel goes, as long as it doesn't go down.
No, definitely.
I always want it to go forward, and it's still going forward, and I like that. The idea of that.
Yeah, you are on a racetrack. I hope he gets his internet situated so we can come back and sit.
Yep.
It just went awkward now.
The main thing I gotta say about this when it comes to it, and I guess I'm kind of piggybacking a little bit.
Yeah.
But when it comes to stuff like this, you want to have that ability. You want to do it. You don't want to go into this thinking of it as a job and just having regrets.
Right. Nobody likes it.
You're just going to go in there like, oh man, I don't want to do this today. And you sit there and continuously do that. Then there's really no point in doing it. You got to want to have that energy and that fire to do that. And to
absolutely.
Okay. Here, I'm going to give y'all an example. All right. Say you get this job. All right. And if it's a fun job where you're having fun, you're going to do a good job. But if you're thinking about it as not a fun job, you're not going to do as good as you are by having fun at it. And that's one reason why I'm like the person that that has a good time. I enjoy what I'm doing. I enjoy streaming. I enjoy YouTube. I enjoy magic in general. And that's one reason why my channel is like it is. I mean, it's not a big channel or anything like that, but I'm still happy with what it is.
Right.
I think that's the thought process that you should go into just about anything. It doesn't matter if you're going in for whatever. You absolutely need to have once you start getting to a point where, you know what, I can see more than just the I'm not going to say dream, because dreams are typically just like reaching for the stars. When you can see the possibilities, which is even better than a dream, right? When you see those possibilities from what you're accomplishing, you know, Tortoise was right. You know, you do need to check certain things out. Even though I'm not a big fan of analytics and SEE scores, those are things that you need to look at. Give it a week, go and look at those. Say, I failed on this episode, but I'm going to get up and I'm going to go forward. I'm going to take that same content. I have what I call my ideas list. Every time I do an episode, I say, okay, this work. I take it apart, throw it back in my ideas list, and kind of like pull it apart again and make another thing. That's how I try to come up with my ideas, because I want to talk about what I want to talk about. I don't go onto YouTube with me and Jesse going, okay, let's talk about politics. I don't like politics. Let's talk about religion. No, I don't like religion. I want to talk about what's going on in the world, not politically wise, not people getting in trouble, not these things, but what's going on in your world. You as a person, did you see some good shows? Did you like this? Did you go to a nice restaurant? Is there a place that you recommend? Is there a streamer that you recommend? Who do you support? Do you support the MTG Hillbilly? I do. You know, I'll watch his shows. I'll sit there in the morning. I won't say anything because it's too early in the morning for me to even be able to contemplate a word. But you know, I don't even talk until like the morning show, and then I'm me. You know.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, never think of yourself as a failure. And just if a video fails, just keep on doing it and doing it and doing it. And you may go back to that video and it might surprise you. Because, for example, there's times I've got on YouTube, went down to the shorts. I've seen a short that Tortoise has put on there probably about a year ago or longer. And it pops up on my YouTube in the shorts.
You know, I've been on YouTube for a year and a half now, almost, and I've been hanging out here on this channel for a year. And I'll tell you what, getting Super Fast and Hillbilly, TCG Dude, they're finally just popping into my recommendation algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I've been in this community for a minute. Like DJ, I get popping into my algorithm all the time, you know, like since I started, you know, but like most of the other people who I collaborate with, and I see, I'm trying to emulate everything I see, so that way I can go back and say, hey, look, you know, on the morning show, Tortoise has a 3 sections. He has it set up in 3 sections. The show, beginning, middle, and an end, and he knows where he's gone wrong in the past, on each of his different branded shows.
Yep.
And every time he goes back, notice like the re-theming of the show recently. That's because Tortoise is taking his show to the next level. He's hit that point where he's like, okay, I've been able to fix this. I've been able to fix this. And I've been able to fix that. He is looking at these search engine optimization scores. He's looking at how he does his titles and hashtags. And notice the beautiful new thumbnails he's been making lately.
Mm-hmm.
You know, much better than the old thumbnails, and the old thumbnails were beautiful too. I've been trying to slightly emulate that in the thumbnails, but then my brain goes, but it's art, make it artsy. You know, sometimes you don't need to go overboard. Dan, you're going overboard. Don't need to make a fancy graphic that's going to be better than your show, because people are going to look at my show and go, oh, you know what, that graphic in itself was clickbait. And, then you start second guessing yourself. Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Speaking of overboard, my baby aggro has been way too strong this morning. That's why I haven't been able to talk. So I gotta go, guys.
All right.
Bye.
You want to show yourself out before you go, TCG dude?
Sure, just a quick shillin' McGillen. Yeah, thanks, Hillbilly. Yeah, you know me. I'm Alex, the TCG dude, out here keeping magic alive. If you want to talk standard, modern, or just, shoot the S, at TCG dude on the various medias and Discord. So, yeah, glad to be here. I guess I'll probably catch you guys Friday for the morning show. But later today, you can catch me over on a separate channel, Mr. DJ Longhair, doing the MTG Roundtable at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So, yeah, you want to talk magic, finance, and all the latest news? Catch me there.
you know, I'll be there.
Hell yeah. All right,
And for
guys,
those of you guys
peace.
in the Central Time Zone, that's 7 o'clock. Don't
Yep.
listen to his Pacific timing. Pacific Coaster. It's all about the Central Time Zone over here.
Yeah. I mean, you can never think of yourself as any kind of failure or anything when you're trying to do this YouTube. And another thing about YouTube is with the small time creators, YouTube, I've noticed that YouTube is starting to push their content out there more.
Yeah.
And because yeah, they do want you to think of it as a business, yes, but they're trying to push your small time creators content out there so they can get more subs and more money for the creator and YouTube.
Right. And if you keep at it, you're going to see more and more of it. And
Yeah.
expect to fail. Don't be disappointed when you fail, because I mean, sure, you're going to experience disappointment. Tortoise is absolutely right. He says it's not about see, when I say you're going to fail, I'm not saying you're going to be a failure. You have to fail. You have to fall off the bike. You have to figure out where you went wrong. You have to figure out where's going right. My advice to people, and this is what I've been doing to learn about this industry so I can help people learn about this industry, is I've been hanging out with DJ Longhair. I've been hanging out with MTG Hillbilly. I've been hanging out with Super Fast Tortoise and TCG Dude. And I'm learning things to tell people so that way they don't have to experience these failures.
Exactly.
If I learn it, I can go, hey, you know what? Maybe you might want to rethink that word right there. These are building blocks to making yourself better.
Yeah. Tortoise having issues with his internet right now. That's why he's not here.
It's all right. We're gonna just sit here and hang out until Tortoise gets back, and we're gonna give him airtime and view time, aren't we, chat? We're gonna sit here and enjoy ourselves because this is a good conversation.
Yep.
Lone Wolf, can I ask you a question, Lone Wolf?
No, what's that?
Now, when it comes to content creators you watch outside of the MTG circle, what kind of like, when you're looking at like the content, are you looking at like live views, or are you looking at like are you watching live viewership like here at the morning show, or are you going and watching the pre-made content, which on both levels are incredible forms of content? Now, what do you as a viewer look for? Because that's one of the things that Tortoise was asking earlier, is you as a viewer, you have that viewer knowledge. What do you look for in a content creator?
For me, it really depends on what I'm looking for. If I'm looking for, I don't know, say magic content, I like to focus on the live content creators so you can interact with them. Especially if you're starting out with magic or whatever, you want to ask questions, and most of the time, when you're watching them, they'll talk to the chat and they'll answer your questions and stuff. At least that's what I do, anyways. But then there's times that I like to watch, people that aren't live just for, learning different things, or if I just need a good laugh, I find the creators that just make the pre-made videos and call it good.
Right. Yeah. as a viewer.
All righty.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. I have to do this from my phone. But Hillbilly, you're gonna have to navigate the exit scene and everything. But really quick,
Okay.
I want to thank everybody for being here. And I'll wait. Our internet really went out. Like it's blinking lights. We rebooted it twice, so I have to do it off of my phone. So I can't carry the show on like this.
Okay.
But like the outro and everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can end the stream, can't you?
I don't know if I can end it or not. Because it's your stream.
Little red box in the top left corner, I think.
That's yeah. I don't see no red box.
All right. Well, everybody, check out KJ on his socials. Check out Hillbilly on his socials. I can end the stream off my phone.
Okay.
But thank you, channel members.
Now you want to go through the shield section real quick?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I just want to say, help. It's unfortunate Tortoise is having his internet problems, but let's get him to 1,000 and go check out Hillbilly with his arena content and go check out KJ.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So it's KJ Cowboy Dan here. I hope you're being good heads in chat. Now, Lone Wolf, thank you for giving us your viewer side of that. I want you guys to make sure that you also listen to what Hillbilly and Tortoise had said today, because it's very important information, especially when you're starting out. Follow me on Twitter, on Twitch. I'm on YouTube, hanging out today with. I'm going to be hanging out with DJ Longhair, TCG dude, on the MTG Roundtable at 7 Central. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And Wednesday on Procrastinating Across the Oceans, we have the artist Bendy coming onto the show. We're going to be talking about making some art. We're going to be talking about original IPs in art. And we're also going to try to convince him to make some Cowboy Dan art. Let's see how that works out. See you Wednesday on that right there. Passing the torch on to MTG Hillbilly.
Hey everybody. Today is Thursday. That means I will be doing just another arena stream. Plus I'll be going over some Age of Eternity spoilers. Tomorrow is supposed to be the last day of the spoilers. And then Saturday afternoon will be a different kind of stream. That will be 3 crafting some decks, and then after 3 craft some decks when early access does come. Because I'm still waiting on the email, because here lately, last couple of early accesses, Wizards have been sending their emails that they invite you with pretty close to the time that they're doing it. And so anyway, I will be 3 crafting some decks, and but other than that, that's all I got to shield for today. Now I'm hoping that Tortoise gets his internet back up, and because he might, because I know he's probably got some things going on today too. If he gets his internet back up.
That's right, everybody. We got a Commander game tonight at 7 Central Standard Time. 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. If we can get it, if the internet works up. I don't know why it's working the way it is right now. It's a little bit annoying. But hey, life happens. I want to thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being members of the channel. Support me the way you do. Subscribers of the channel. Grow the channel the way you do. You guys rock. You guys roll. I remind you, you are loved. If someone's thinking about you. And if you can, stay and or do something positive. And if you can, do it to someone else so you can be the change they possibly need. Really quick note, every failure that you do is just an excuse to get back up and try again.
A step to success.
That's right. Because remember in Batman Begins, the movie, why do we fall down? So we can pick ourselves back up.
Right.
That's right. So, anyways, let's get to that sweet, sweet outro, Hillbilly.
I totally want to thank you for watching today's video. I really appreciate it, 100%. Like this video as if it's your favorite kind of pizza, dude. And if you wouldn't mind, consider smashing that subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications. Every one of these things you do helps the channel out a lot.
The moves, the strategies, and the flair.